sports. We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
A gorgeous Saturday afternoon for baseball in Cincinnati to play two. The first of a doubleheader coming up from Great American Ballpark. And the Brewer fans are showing up here on this Labor Day weekend in Cincinnati, making the easy drive from the state of Wisconsin. And they're going to double their pleasure here today. Brewers were rained out in yesterday's game, so it's going to be a day-night doubleheader here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. I'm Craig Deshawn alongside Bill Schroeder. Welcome aboard for our marathon of baseball here today. And, Rock, I guess first things first, the good news, the Brewers come in hot because they've won 5 of 6, and their offense has really been the thing that you want to say, hey, it's been great since mid-August. They've improved their run total by 2 since then.
Yeah, it's not just a couple of guys. I mean, everybody, the top of the order, bottom of the order, has been very good. You see the numbers right there. First 120 games, you know, not all that great. I mean, they had some games and some stretches where they have been pretty good, but the last 13 games, these guys are starting to click on all cylinders. You know, Braun, Lynn, they've been the same. They've been pretty hot all season long. I think the difference, though, is Davis has got the home run back going. Jonathan Lucroy, red hot. He's got an 11-game hitting streak. And some of these young kids that the Brewers have picked up, guys like Santana and Perez, really finding that comfort level at the plate, starting to be productive. Elian Herrera, Craig Counsell just can't seem to get him out of the lineup. He just continues to be productive at the plate. That's why they're scoring runs, and they've been winning some ball games.
All right, so the Brewers hope to continue that here on the road. This was the scene last night, rain coming in right at game time. How will the Brewers deal with a doubleheader? Kelly Hughes talks with Craig Counsell about that rarity when we come back.
on all your home improvement needs. By Toyota, see where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. A day-night doubleheader is on the docket today for the Brewers and Reds in the Queen City after the Rains revoked the series opener last night. Good afternoon from Great American Ballpark, where the Brewers and Reds will buckle up for at least 18 innings of baseball with their scheduled day-night doubleheader. The dynamics certainly change when you're managing two games in one day, and Craig Counsell and his staff has certainly put a plan together, but the main goal remains the same, and that's just winning the game.
You never know what's going to happen in the next day or the next game. I think we had that, we had the conversation on Thursday night. If you worry about Friday on Thursday night, we would have been worrying about a day that there was no game. So it's just best to just worry about the game in front of you, the inning in front of you, and then the next game will take care of it. You'll have an option in the next game. It's okay if it's not, it's okay if your options are limited, but I feel like you go for the win when you can get the win.
The Brewers and Reds are getting revved up for a double dip, with the crew looking to pick up their 5th straight win at Great American Ballpark. Craig and Rock are back after the break with the call next from Cincinnati.
Now, back in Cincinnati, Craig Kashan, Bill Schroeder, Telly Hughes on the sideline here today from Great American Ballpark. 85 will be our temperature at first pitch, and we will take that over yesterday's rain that came in right at game time, and it surprised Craig Counsell and all of us here in Cincinnati enough to wash away yesterday's game. So a doubleheader here today. Craig Counsell, the first-year skipper for the Brewers. Take a look at the Brewers' batting order today. Gene Segura, Jonathan Lucroy, and Ryan Braun will bat here in the first. Chris Davis, Jason Rogers, Domingo Santana, Hernan Perez, Elian Herrera, all ahead of Matt Garza, who is on the mound for Milwaukee. And it's going to be John Lamb on the mound for Cincinnati.
Yeah, it took a loss his last time out at Milwaukee. A 3-0 loss in 6 innings, 5 hits. Allowed only 2 runs, a tough luck loss. He has not won a game. He's 0-3 in a .524 earned run average. They picked him up, did the Reds, and that Johnny Cueto did with the Royals back on July 26th. Well, let's check out the Menards Reds defense. One of the best defensive teams in the National League. They've committed only 65 errors. That's third best in the NL. Schumacher, Bourgeois, and Bruce in the outfield. You got Todd Frazier, Eugenio Suarez at short, Brandon Phillips at second, Joey Votto at first, and Tucker Barnhart catches game one here in Cincinnati.
And a doubleheader for the umpires here as well. Jerry Davis will be behind home plate. Toby Bassner over at first, Jim Wolf at second, and Phil Cousy over at third base. Toby Bassner brought in for the doubleheader today. Umpires catch a break for the doubleheaders as they rotate an extra umpire through.
Yeah, Will Little probably going to be umpiring home plate. Will not work the bases in game one.
And we are ready for baseball as Gene Segura is set to lead off for Milwaukee here in the first inning. Has had a good series during the season against the Reds, batting over 300, and has swung a pretty nice bat for Milwaukee here as of late. One of many who have helped Milwaukee's offense get cranked up.
And Segura seems to be a little bit more aggressive up there at the plate, trying to get the bat head out. He's been driving the ball better, extra base hits. Everybody up and down the order has pitched in this good stretch of offensive games for the Brewers. Hoping to continue it here today. Got two to play.
Sometimes the approach on doubleheaders can be a little bit more aggressive. We'll see if that plays out or not. Afternoon baseball again to close out the series tomorrow. Lamb gets a strike in there, 2-2.
Lamb not overpowering. He's got two fastballs, a four-seamer, and a cutter. Showed a pretty good changeup at Milwaukee.
Segura puts it in play, and a nice play made to open it up by Frazier. Had to use the backhand, and there's one down here in the Brewer first inning.
Yeah, this is a very solid defensive unit in the infield, in particular. Frazier, Votto's always been very good. Brandon Phillips, I don't think anybody better at second base. The Gold Glover at second. And Suarez has done a nice job at short. Got Cozart hurt early in the season. He's filled in nicely at shortstop.
Here's Jonathan Lucroy now on an 11-game hitting streak. That is a career high for him. During that streak, 442. So he's just not getting just only one base hit a game. He's had multi-hit games. He's getting his power back, getting back into the alleys and the corners.
Yep, home runs. He's got 3 home runs in that stretch, some doubles.
3 home runs and 14 RBIs during the 11-game hitting streak for Jonathan Lucroy as he bats with one down here in the Brewer first. Lamb, by the way, the 35th straight game now that the Reds have started a rookie pitcher.
Yep, all 5 are rookies. All the trades that they've been able to pull off, the big Johnny Cueto deal. Mike Leake traded away. Latos early in the season.
Lucroy down 2 strikes. Fouls another one away. Well, Milwaukee coming off that sweep against Pittsburgh. We talked about that a little bit off the top. Pittsburgh then goes into St. Louis and takes a little frustration out last night. Huh?
Yeah, took it to him, right? 9-3. Who'd have thought, right? Pirates couldn't muster much offense against Milwaukee in Miller Park, but did a nice job against the St. Louis Cardinals last night.
And Lucroy takes the ball 1-2.
Yeah, it's a good changeup that he threw at Miller Park. That one hung up in his zone a little bit. Had a difficult time locating and commanding his curveball. Didn't throw too many of them.
And this time he strikes out Lucroy. So 2 down now for the Brewers as Ryan Braun now steps up to the plate. His last home run came against the starting pitcher, John Lamb, back at Miller Park.
Yeah, first pitch changeup, knocked it out of the ballpark. One of many first pitch home runs for Ryan Braun this year.
This Powerball home run number 24 for Ryan Braun. Let's see what he can do here this afternoon against the young rookie. Again, Lamb came over in that trade with Johnny Cueto that sent him to the Kansas City Royals. Ryan Braun has his average up to 280 now.
Yep, another 20-20 season for Ryan Braun. He's got the 20 stolen bases, 24 homers. Good solid season for Braun. He's been pretty consistent.
Well, over his last 19 games, he's batting .352. That'll bring your average up a little bit, but the 280 right now, a season high for him. He's really had quite a month of not only the offensive production, but you see he's got his step back too, running the bases. As you mentioned, the 20 stolen bases, he has got his legs back underneath him, that's for sure.
Yeah, putting out good effort in the outfield, making some nice plays out there. That's that cut fastball from Lamb, 87 miles an hour. It's going to be a warm one down there in the field in game one. They said it's only 85 degrees.
No, I would definitely argue with that.
Yeah.
2-2. And the count now full for Milwaukee's right fielder. Braun coming off a nice homestand. 7 for 22 at the plate. So Braun steps out. Lamb about the throw. You saw that a little bit in Zach Davies' debut in the majors a couple of nights ago in Milwaukee as the Pirates went in and out of that batter's box. And Braun draws a walk, so the first base runner of the game with 2 down.
The hitters don't like to be up there ready to go too long. The pitcher's tendency to freeze them, and they'll call timeout. Sometimes umpire will give them timeout, sometimes they won't. You got to be ready. Call timeout, you tell the umpire you want time, not necessarily he's going to give it to you.
So Braun at first, 2 down for Chris Davis, the Brewers player of the month for the month of August. He hit 10 home runs and 24 RBIs. Check swing fouled away. Those 10 home runs tied for the league lead in the month of August for Davis.
And you figure the ball is going to be jumping out of this ballpark today. Nice and hot day game here at Great American Park.
Well, it was jumping out yesterday during batting practice, and I think a lot of Brewer players were looking forward to the game, and all of a sudden the rains. It just got dark here about 15 minutes before game time.
Yeah, they weren't really even calling for much rain, were they?
No.
But
that's the region of the country we're in, though. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, St. Louis gets that way a lot.
Got here quickly. Had a very difficult time getting the tarp on the field with all the big winds.
Yeah, that's not an easy task for the grounds crew. You always feel bad when they're hanging on by basically a thread down there, putting all their weight against the wind and the rain.
Hanging on for dear life down there, yeah.
Again, they check Braun. A timeout was called on the field. So some technical difficulties as we have with some of our cameras here and in the truck. So this is our camera for right now, and it's locked in on Davis. Now we've got one back, hopefully.
Ryan
here.
Braun just stole second base, his 21st stolen base of the season.
So Lamb was paying a lot of attention to him, and Braun took off anyway. So he's in scoring position. Two balls and one strike on Davis. Day-night doubleheader here today. The second game scheduled to start at 5 Central Time, so they're going to have to scoot this audience out and welcome in a new one.
They're going to have to start getting them out of here around the 9th inning.
It's going to be a little tight turnaround time. We were a little surprised by the 1 o'clock, 6 o'clock Eastern time starts. Davis puts it in play to land. And there's your final out here in the first. Brewers strand one in scoring position. Cincinnati coming to bat. Going to the bottom of the first inning in game 1 of 2 here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. There is Brian Price, the Cincinnati manager, in his second season. His club in last place in the National League Central Division, and this is his batting order. Bourgeois will lead off. Jay Price, having a pretty nice season against Milwaukee, will bat second. Then it's Joey Votto, then Phillips, Frazier, Schumacher, Suarez, Barnhart, and John Lamb, the pitcher, and they will oppose Matt Garza on the mound for Milwaukee.
Yeah, looking to rebound after a rough time at Miller Park against Cincinnati. 3 2/3 for Garza. 11 hits, 7 earned runs, and certainly a start that he'd like to forget about. Overall, 12th start against Cincinnati in his career. A 4-3 record. He's 1-0 this year in 2 starts. Actually got a no decision last time out after giving up 7 runs. Let's check out the Brewers defense, brought to you by Menards tonight. For today, Davis, Santana, and Braun in the outfield. Elian Herrera, 25th start at second base. He normally gets a start at second with a left-hander on the mound. And Jason Rogers, he gets a start at first base, his 17th start at first base this year.
There's a good look at Jason Rogers against the lefty here today. So a good opportunity for him, especially with the doubleheader. And here's Matt Garza's first pitch to Jason Bourgeois. And it is ball 1. Bourgeois 260 on the season in 40 games. Began the year on the DL, came off the DL in late June. And has taken over center field for Billy Hamilton, who was placed on the disabled list, and today will start a 3-game rehab assignment and hopes to join this club again early next week to try to finish out the season strong. Bourgeois has done a nice job, though. 309 in those 15 games that he has filled in center field so far. Former Brewer. Garza delivers the 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 now.
Well, it's been about location for Garza, particularly with the fastballs. Curveball hadn't been too bad. I mean, he's been able to get it for strikes. He's been able to get some strikeouts with it. Yeah, but trying to come inside, leaves it out over the plate. You know, going outside, maybe too much of the plate, and those are the pitches that have been get hit hard. Funny, because when he came off the disabled list, you know, he was on the DL for a couple of weeks, and when he came back, he was really effective on the inside corner. He has lost the location there. That's why he's been having a difficult time.
He has had an up and down season, to say the least, mostly down, unfortunately. But those bright moments he has, he shows such flashes of not only getting back on track, but being nearly dominant. But those have been few flashes, unfortunately. Remember when he came in relief of the extra inning game and kind of took off after that when he went back into the starting role.
Yeah, a little bit more aggressive for, maybe a handful of starts after that relief appearance. And just one of those things, up and down season for most of the starting rotation.
Bourgeois staying alive here in his first at bat against Matt Garza. Garza is 31 years old in the second year of a 4-year contract with Milwaukee, and has seen his ERA jump from 3.54 a year ago to 6.27 now. I should say 3.64 to 5.56. So that's nearly a 2-run difference. Same story can be said for Kyle Lohse as well. They are the top 2 pitchers in baseball have seen the greatest run difference from last year to this year.
Yeah, just got off to a terrible start. Just for Lohse, he just couldn't get it figured out. I mean, I think that finger problem that he had, that sore middle finger, affected his changeup. And Garza just has to be more consistent with his delivery and his location with his fastball. Lohse now in the bullpen. He's out there.
Be the 10th pitch at this at bat. 5 straight foul-offs make it 6. These are the kind of things that has to trouble Matt Garza. Long at bats, a lot of pitches.
And you've put those sliders, down and away. I mean, those might be swings and misses, but getting a little bit too much of the plate, allowing Bourgeois to get a piece.
And another one back. That's 7 in a row.
Just look at the location of a lot of these fastballs. They're getting a lot of the plate. And Bourgeois has had some very good pitches to hit in this at bat and just found them off. Look at the cluster, a lot right over the heart of the plate.
And he misses down low. Count goes full. It'll be pitch number 13 at least to decide who wins this battle between Bourgeois and Garza. Fly ball to right. Ryan Braun. Nope, it's going to be Herrera.
Yeah, won by Matt Garza that time. A much better pitch. Able to get Bourgeois finally out on the end of the bat for an easy pop out. He earned that one, didn't he?
13 pitches. They both know we're playing 2 today, right?
Yeah, get up there, swing at the first pitch.
Here's Jay Bruce. His 46th career game, batting second in the order. There's your first pitch, and it hits long and far to left field, but it'll stay in as Davis battles the sun and makes the catch.
Yeah, got it just down on the end enough to keep it in the ballpark. Still able to almost get it to the warning track. These are the kind of days that ball really travels, not just in this ballpark, but any ballpark. Hot, steamy day, and you got to keep the baseball down. It could be a field day for the offense if you don't. Not a lot of breeze.
No, there's not. Here's Joey Votto. Takes a first pitch strike in the outside corner. Votto a 6-game hitting streak going, batting .316, 27 home runs, 70 RBIs.
And one of the toughest outs in baseball right now. He's been locked in. We saw that at Miller Park.
Got the good German outfit going here today in Cincinnati on the scoreboard inside Great American Ballpark. After the long battle with the first batter, 2 quick outs. See Great American Ballpark. No score between the Brewers and Reds as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag WisDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Nice stats with John Roebling over there on the Kentucky side.
It's a beautiful view. We've walked that way before.
He built the Blue Bridge connecting Cincinnati and Covington.
We've crossed that bridge a few times.
Many times.
Many times. Here's Jason Rogers to lead off the Brewer half of inning number 2. 2:31 on the season for Rogers, who gets the start at first base for Adam Lind against the left-handed pitcher John Lamb. Good walking city, isn't it, Rock?
It is. Any city that has water, you know, like Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, San Diego.
Got to get your walk in the morning before an evening game. Rogers hits it a long way into the gap in left, and a nice running catch by the center fielder out there, Bourgeois. Well, Rogers hits everything hard, but this time Bourgeois catches up to it.
And nice short stroke. He doesn't have a lot of movement until that bat's on its way to the baseball. Yeah, made pretty good contact on that. Just didn't hit it quite on the sweet spot, and Bourgeois able to run it down. Impressively patient for a young hitter who doesn't get a whole lot of playing time.
Santana first pitch into center field, a base hit, and that's Milwaukee's first hit of the afternoon off Lamb.
We were talking about Santana when we came on the air today, talking about the offense. He and Perez have done a nice job. You got some hot hitters at the top of the order, guys at the bottom getting it done. This time a jam shot and dumps it into center field.
Just talking to him yesterday around the batting cage about his hitting in the minor leagues. The last 2-3 seasons have been 300 or better, and he says it's right up the middle and the other way. That's where he's really put his concentration on, and now he's got to prove it on the major league level.
Big man, isn't he?
Yes,
I
sir.
saw you talking to him over there.
Did you see me?
Towering over you.
He's 6'5", 225 pounds.
Towers over most guys, if it makes you feel any better. Good changeup.
Perez down 2 strikes. 281 on the season. Another start over at third base. 4 for 7 against the Reds in his limited time. 0-2 called strike 3 in the inside corner.
Yep, fastball, changeup, fastball. Fastball catches the inside corner. Pitching pretty much the way he did in Milwaukee. Basically, fastball, changeup. That one just barely able to catch the edge. Too close to take with 2 strikes.
Here's Elian Herrera, Brewers' second baseman, batting 8th here in game 1. Santana over at first.
I mentioned that Lamb gave up 2 runs against the Brewers at Miller Park. His last time out, both runs coming in the first 3 innings. Home run by Braun in the first, then the Brewers able to get one in the third, and that was it.
And he's working ahead of the hitters for the most part early in this game.
5th round pick by the Royals back in 2008. They call him a quirky left-hander here in Cincinnati. I think that's a bit redundant, don't you think?
Well, he's got the look, doesn't he?
Most left-handers are quirky.
Now Augie's listening back in the studio.
Especially Augie.
Yes. Every time he'd say something to Augie, a little unusual. Augie, why are you doing that? Because I'm left-handed. I pop up in the infield. Suarez gets underneath it for the final out. Heading to the Cincinnati half of the second, no score. Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham. 1-800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. Back in Cincinnati. Nice afternoon to bring the family out.
Need the sunscreen today.
Need the sunscreen and a cold beverage for sure. Good to see the Brewer fans on hand. Sporting that old 70s Brewer uniform there. Matt Garza back out on the hill for Milwaukee, and he'll face Brandon Phillips first here in the second inning. 289 on the season for Phillips. Another solid year for the Gold Glover at second base, the All-Star. He is fun to watch, especially on defense.
Yep. Power down for him this year, only 10 home runs.
It's interesting, you know, as often as you face the Reds and you look at this lineup, that one day Phillips will be at the top of the order and the next day he'll be the cleanup hitter. You don't see that very often with lineups, that's for sure, but he can obviously in this role, if you go 1, 2, 3, he's like a leadoff hitter the next inning.
Yeah, he's you know, one of those guys who can hit anywhere. I mean, he's kind of like Jonathan Lucroy. I mean, he's you know, really comfortable no matter where you put him in the batting order. Not a lot of hitters like that. And really doesn't change his approach based on where he is in the batting order, and you shouldn't do that. Some guys get in that leadoff spot and they feel as though they need to be more patient and taking pitches, but that's just not Brandon Phillips' game. He's just who he is no matter where he's in that lineup.
And about the only thing that will get him out of the batter's box when he is at the plate is an inside pitch that you just saw by Garza there. He stays right in there and is ready to go between pitches. We like those kind of guys.
Oh, yeah.
And he draws a leadoff walk. Not the way that Garza wanted to start this inning. He had a tough time with Bourgeois in the first before retiring him 13 pitches. Now here's Todd Frazier. The All-Star third baseman for the Reds got the start in their All-Star game here in his home stadium. Won the home run derby. That was quite a mid-season classic for him, to say the least.
Yeah, first half really good for Todd Frazier. I mean, excellent, but kind of tailed off a little bit in the second half. Still got the 30 homers. They call him the Todd Father around here.
The Todd Father.
One of the better nicknames.
I like that.
Bryce Harper hit a home run yesterday.
That followed his
4 walks.
4 walk. Didn't swing at 20 pitches. Maybe he didn't have the opportunity.
Right.
One and one to Frazier. Phillips over at first. Early on here in game 1. Play another one late this afternoon Central Time, starting at 5 o'clock or thereabouts. See how we get through game 1. Fly ball, shallow right. Herrera going out. Braun coming in to make the catch, and there's one down. So Frazier retired. Skip Schumacher now the batter.
Man, this is a guy that's had a lot of success against Matt Garza in his career. 4 for 9 is Skip Schumacher. Not getting a whole lot of playing time. And doing pretty well against Milwaukee this year.
.421 in his career against Matt Garza. 8 for 19. Seen each other a lot as Central Division foes. Both playing on multi-Central Division teams.
Yeah, 8 for 19, a couple of walks. The former St. Louis Cardinal.
That's right. And Garza, of course, with the Cubs. before he came to Milwaukee a couple of stops ago. This is down low again, 2-0. There's a strike from Garza. Schumacher 220 on the season. Done very well as a pinch hitter for the Reds. In fact, leads the majors in pinch hit plate appearances and hits. Also has 5 doubles as a pinch hitter.
And Schumacher with less than 200 at bats.
Ground ball just past Segura into center field. Phillips makes a big turn, and the throw goes into Perez. So runners at first and second. Nobody out here in the second inning.
And the success against Matt Garza continues for Schumacher. 2-1 pitch, able to just get it out of the reach of Gene Segura. A little bit more to the left. That would have been a double play ball, but into center field. And Phil draws the throw from Santana. It was a good one into third base.
Eugenio Suarez now the shortstop will bat. 2 aboard, nobody out. Having a nice year at 284 with 11 home runs. He took over at short in mid-June when Zach Cozart suffered a season-ending knee injury. He's filled in very nicely on the offensive end.
And pretty good over there at shortstop. Replacing a very good defender in Zach Cozart, one of the better defensive shortstops in the league.
Up the middle and a base hit. Phillips on his way in. Cincinnati is going to take a 1-0 lead. First 3 reach in the second inning off Matt Garza.
Well, fastball a little bit too much at the plate once again, and Suarez able to muscle it into center field. Check it out. That pitch pretty much right down the middle, a little bit on the inner half of the plate, but Suarez able to fight it off, got it on the handle a little bit, and drives in the first run of the ball game.
So here's the catcher Tucker Barnhart now. Suarez just got the RBI single. Schumacher over at second. And this one nabbed by Rogers. And the return, Garza can't hold the bag, and a run's going to come in and score. A quick play, Rogers over to Segura, but Garza couldn't set himself at first.
Man, it looked like a pretty good throw from Gene Segura. And Garza not the greatest of fielders once he gets off the mound. He gets over there in pretty good shape. And just slips. He couldn't find the bag. He slipped, fell down, and that's going to be an error, I would imagine, allowing Schumacher to score. He just couldn't stop and set himself in time. Ended up overrunning the bag, and Schumacher with good base running able to score. That's going to be an E6.
Tough error on Gene Segura.
Well, if you get over there and set yourself, that throw's not a bad throw.
Well, as you mentioned, Garza has some defensive struggles. There's no doubt about that throughout his career. As John Lamb, the pitcher, now bats. Throughout the season, though, the Brewers work on that.
The old PFP, you see it once in a while at Miller Park. You come to the ballpark early, you see him before BP batting practice, and they're working on plays like that. Just couldn't set himself, fell down, and the error was committed.
Well, it is a full speed defensive drill. There's no doubt about that, whether it's the drill or the play itself. But you got to know where your whereabouts are, where the base is.
That's the toughest of all double plays.
Yep.
At 3 to 6 to 1. The shortstop is thrown to a moving target. Just have to trust that your pitcher is going to be able to get there, set himself, and make the catch. Didn't happen.
Making plays such a key when Matt Garza is out on the hill. Chopper Herrera flips to Segura for the final out. But the Reds come up with 2 here against Garza and grab the early lead. Brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. Reds get 2 in their half of the second. Top of the third, we go 2-0 Cincinnati. It's time for the annual Milwaukee Bucks golf event benefiting the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. This year's event is on Tuesday, September 22nd at the River Club of Mequon. 11 a.m. shotgun. And you can sign your foursome up today. Visit foxsportswisconsin.com and click on the upcoming event tab for details. So John Lamb now posted to a 2-0 lead as he takes the hill to start the third inning. And he'll face pitcher Matt Garza. See if Garza can help out and get himself on base to start this inning. First pitch in is a strike from Lamb. Garza puts it in play to short. Suarez for the first down.
Hey, get your hands on the one-of-a-kind scooter gnome by heading to Miller Park on Sunday, September 20th. The Brewers wrap up their weekend series with the Reds, and all fans will get a garden gnome in the Brewers' second baseman, courtesy of Waterstone Bank. To reserve your spot, go to Brewers.com today.
All right, here's Gene Segura, top of the order. One down here in the third. John Lamb, the young lefty, out on the hill for Cincinnati. Nice play by Frazier. Again, the throw. And it is in time. A little bit off the mark.
Able to keep the toe on the bag. Joey Votto, nice play on both ends. Well, you know, Craig Counsell's going to want his guys to take a look at this. Well, Toby Bassner, umpire at first base. Heck of a play by Todd Frazier. Get up, make the throw, and does Votto keep the toe on the bag as he catches the baseball?
John Lamb appreciates that defense, but we'll see if it's going to hold up.
You don't see many plays like that down in the minor leagues. That's a terrific play by Frazier.
And Counsell will not challenge. Frazier's made a couple of nice plays early.
It's a good play on both ends. Good job by Votto.
That'll help his pitcher out. That's why he was clapping enthusiastically. 2 down. Quickly here in the third. Here's Lucroy, the catcher.
That's the thing about good defense, which is one of the reasons why it's so surprising the Reds are where they're at. I mean, you know, their starting rotation is in turmoil. They've got nothing but rookies. Their bullpen not too bad, but just inconsistent offense. That's been their problem this year. Up and down, not scoring enough runs. And that defense is good as it gets. Not just the plays that they should make, you know, not committing errors, but making these tremendous plays, these spectacular plays in the infield.
Well, you look at some of these offensive names that are in this lineup day in and day out. Bruce, Votto, Phillips, Frazier. And you wonder how Cincinnati sits at the bottom of the National League right now.
Everybody wants to point to the pitching, which hasn't been very good this year, near the bottom of the league in team earned run average. But Cincinnati, the 4th worst as far as batting average goes in the National League, a .250 team batting average.
That is not going to get it done.
Yeah, the Cubs, the Mets, San Diego, then Cincinnati, the top 4, the bottom 4. That is a surprise.
Yes, indeed. Two-two to Lucroy. Fly ball center field. Bourgeois just a couple of steps, makes the catch in a quick 1-2-3 inning for the rookie. Out early in this game, and it made us think about the other night. Our Columbia St. Mary's worth another look. Remember Gene Segura in that Pirates series, a beautiful play deep in the hole. It's one of the better plays you're going to see Gene Segura make, and he makes a ton of them.
Not just Gene Segura, I mean any shortstop to be able to get that kind of throw off, you know, with his momentum going that hard away from first base. That got a lot of national attention, that throw by Segura.
It's amazing how quick his feet are, how much that helps you at that position at shortstop, in addition to having the strong and accurate arm.
Yeah, the low center of gravity. He always seems to be able to keep his feet underneath. And that's how you get off good throws.
There's Bourgeois to lead off the third inning now for Cincinnati. He had that long at bat to lead off the game against Garza. 13 pitches. But Garza won the battle as he flew out to second base. And that's how he stayed alive in the first at bat. Fouled off a lot of pitches.
Well, you know, Garza would like to eat up some innings today for the Brewers. A short outing his last time out, 3 2/3. Against these Cincinnati Reds back at home. He'd like to get into the 6th. particularly with another game later on.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that 13 pitch at bat to Bourgeois to lead off the first inning to retire the rest of the batters. The final 8, it took 23 pitches.
Yeah.
Again, pop up. Foul territory. Rogers on the run and makes the catch.
Good pitch by Garza. You know, Bourgeois having a difficult time barreling up the pitches from Garza. A weak pop up to second. And now a flare pop up to Jason Rogers in foul ground. Quick as a cat getting there.
Rogers kind of reminded me of a linebacker coming in. It is college football Saturday.
They wonder, and that's why Lucroy wasn't too anxious to get over there.
Here's Jay Bruce. Bruce just missed one in his first at bat. Long fly out to left. Strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, doubled up on the curveball. Missed with the first one. Able to catch the corner with the second one. I knew Bruce was looking fastball after that first curveball missed. Yeah, that's the pitch we're talking about right there for Garza. That fastball in, very effective when he throws it for strikes. Hitters aren't going to swing at it too often. He missed inside with it. When he has his real good games, he's been able to find that inside corner for strikes. Not getting too much of the plate, leaving it out over the plate where it gets hit, and not missing in off the plate.
It's a difference maker for success, isn't it?
Every pitcher, yep, pitching inside.
This one put in play, but foul. Well, Bruce is 5 hits away from 1,000 in his career. Was an all-star in consecutive years in 2011 and 12 for the Reds. He awaits the 3-2. This one lined into right field, a base hit. So a 1-out runner aboard for the Reds.
Hey, Hot Laps Motorsports Bar in Green Bay is today's time of the game winner. They call the Brewers in the next 24 hours. They get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to an April or May 2016 home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. You know what's great about today? We get 2 Tavern the Game winners.
Ah, very nice. Went without last night.
One in game 2 today, and
one of each. Very nice. See, it's a treat to have a doubleheader for some.
Mm-hmm. You know, they're giving away beer steins today at the ballpark.
I saw that. It's not exactly what I needed to see in game 1 of a doubleheader.
Unfortunately, they're not filled when they give them out, but
correct. But some will fill them up during the game.
Mm-hmm.
Some who are fortunate enough to get one. A lot of polka music before the game heard inside Great American Ballpark. I thought they were doing that just for the fact that the Brewers were here, but the giveaway's good.
It's Reds Toberfest. That's what they're calling it up on the scoreboard. Don't look at me like that. I didn't come up with that.
It just sounds good. You can put Tober with any name, though, can't you?
Yeah.
And have a party.
Interesting thing about Oktoberfest in Germany, it takes place in September.
There you go. See, that's what I like about working with you.
I mean, why?
Because you just take a name and redefine it.
I mean, why is Oktoberfest in September?
I don't know. We're going to have to find that out. You know, we have 2 games to do that, though. So. Three and 0 now to Bottom. Got a runner at first with one down for the Reds. Phillips waits on deck. Meaty, dangerous part of the order for Cincinnati right now, and already down 2-0. Garza gets a strike.
I was reading something about Joey Votto yesterday, and they were saying that he's reached base in 116 of his last 201 plate appearances, including his last time up. Pretty impressive stuff.
It sure is.
Make that 117 out of 202.
And another walk here, and he's on pace to lead the National League in walks for the 4th time in 5 seasons. This guy just keeps finding a way.
Talking about being dialed in.
Yep. Well, for Garza, now he's got to be careful with Phillips here. He walked back in the 2nd inning to get things started in that 2-run effort for the Reds. And now 2 aboard for him and 1 down. Votto at first, Bruce out at second. First pitch in, a strike. That's what Garza needs. Brewers have won 4 straight here at Great American Ballpark. Last time they were in here, swept a 3-game series. July 3rd, 4th, and 5th spoiled the holiday here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, it was part of a 7-game road trip sweep for Milwaukee.
That was their peak of winning under the Young Counsell era. And Phillips, center field, base hit. Here comes Bruce, and he'll get in. Throw off target, and Cincinnati grabs a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, another base hit on a fastball from Matt Garza. He was down in the count, or he was ahead in the count 0-1. He got a curveball over for a strike, but just too much of the plate with the fastball, and Phillips able to hit it hard into center. Yeah, we've been mentioning that, you know, Santana playing very deep in center field. His natural position is either left or right, and because of that, not any chance of throwing him out at home plate.
Garza's got to dial it in here. Doesn't want to give up any more. Frazier, first pitch, fly ball left. Votto set to tag from second, just bluffed. And there'll be 2 down. We'll take those first pitch outs, that's for sure.
No kidding. That'll keep you around a while.
Here's Schumacher, who singled and later scored on the throwing error last inning. First pitch straight to Herrera. 2 pitches, 2 outs to finish up the inning, so only 1 run scored by the Reds, but they have a 3-run advantage now. Of the fourth inning, time for our Car Soup trivia question for the day. Who is the first player in Brewers history to record a 20-20? That's home runs and stolen bases in a season. First Brewer player. Ryan Braun has done it, what, 4 times now?
Yeah. Well, you get Robin. He's always a good answer to every trivia question. But I think it might have happened before that. I'm not sure.
Not easy to do. You got to be multi-talented athletic-wise to do it.
Of course, there wasn't too many games for the Brewers before Yount.
No, there weren't. So Ryan Braun leads off the fourth for Milwaukee. He walked and had a stolen base back in the first inning, but was stranded at second. One of only 2 Milwaukee base runners so far against John Lamb, and the only one to reach scoring position. Braun lines one, but just fouled.
Yeah, John Lamb doesn't mess around. I mean, he's like Zach Davies. I mean, he just stands right on the mound. He's ready to throw the baseball, works quickly, a lot of confidence. See the Brewers stepping out a couple of times. Ryan Braun called time on him once.
This time into left field, it's going to go down to the wall into the corner. And Braun will trot into second base with a leadoff double. Good start to the fourth inning for the Brewers.
Yep, change up down and away, and Ryan Braun able to hook it down the line. Not a bad pitch by Lamb, but you know, Ryan Braun, a terrific hitter, able to get it. Look at this pitch where it is. I mean, maybe a little bit too much of the plate. It leaked over the heart, but down. But boy, Ryan Braun stays right on it, hooks it down the left field line for a leadoff double. Good piece of hitting by Brawny.
Well, they've got one out there and they trail 3-0, so you don't want to waste these opportunities. There's Chris Davis. Lamb misses inside. Lamb's battled through some injuries. He missed his senior year of high school. He's from California. He's in a car accident. Broke a bone in his pitching arm. And then he had Tommy John surgery back in 2011. So he's 25 years old and finally making it to the big show.
Out of Laguna Hills, California.
Davis ahead 2-0. Here's the pitch. High outside. Powerball home run leaderboard. Ryan Braun at the top of the heap with 24. And his last home run, number 24, came against Lamb back in Milwaukee last weekend. Brewers took 2 of 3 in that series. Davis taking all the way, 3-1. Davis grounded out to Lamb in his first at bat. There's another strike. Hits the outside.
He's got Chris looking for that changeup. Into a fastball that had plenty of the plate.
Still haven't seen that curveball so much yet, have we?
No, haven't seen it at all.
Thought maybe we'd see it last weekend and couldn't establish it. And this time he does walk Davis. So the first 2 on board here in the fourth inning. Jason Rogers. Long loud out to center field his first time up. Big opportunity here to get the Brewers on the board. If you're a young Jason Rogers, you know you don't get a lot of opportunities when Adam Lind is playing so well at first base. When you face a left-handed pitcher, you want to get up there and be productive.
Yeah, and he's been surprisingly patient in his opportunities in the starting lineup.
Goes after that fastball.
You'll see Adam Lind in game 2. He might be available to pinch hit later on.
Skips one in. Good block by Barnhart.
Yeah, pretty good defensive catcher. He's got a good throwing arm. A switch hitter. Interesting. All 3 of the Cincinnati catchers are switch hitters. That's rare.
It is rare. Well, with runners on board, Lamb's pace is slowed down quite a bit, as you would expect. Second time through the order now for Milwaukee, trying to find some success. Braun reached on a double to lead things off. Davis walked. Now Rogers inside 2-1. Another strike.
It just takes a little off, adds a little bit to the fastball to go with the changeup.
Rogers' 17th start over at first base. And called strike 3 in the outside corner.
Yeah, Rogers knew it. I think he was caught guessing. Changeup, got the fastball away. Just couldn't pull the trigger. That's a big out for Lamb. Now double play gets him out of the inning. And there you see it. Man, catching plenty of the plate. That was pretty much right down the middle, right at the knees.
One down for Domingo Santana, who singled to center his first time up. Only 2 hits allowed so far in the game by Lamb. The first to Santana back in the second, and then Braun's leadoff double here in the fourth. Santana trying to make a name for himself as a power hitter, but would also like to see that average climb up a bit. A solid single his first time up here in game 1.
A rare single for Santana. Hadn't hit many.
Not many at all.
Got a couple. More home runs than singles.
Four home runs for Santana, and showing outstanding power going the other way. Hit a booming home run at Miller Park against the Pirates. Fly ball right field. Bruce just off the warning track for the second out.
And just missed that one. Just not able to get enough extension to get it out of the ballpark. Still able to muscle it to the warning track.
So 2 down now, and the Brewers need a clutch hit, and we'll see if Perez can come up with it.
Yeah, first and second, nobody on. You got to get something out of this.
Perez struck out looking back in the second inning. Inside, ball 1. 29th start out at second, or I should say third base. He's played 12 over at second and 1 at short. versatility the key for many of these Brewer prospects.
The Brewers though like him at third base. He's looked good over there. He's made some nice plays. Got a terrific throwing arm at third. And he's been swinging the bat pretty well.
There's Herrera, who's also done a nice job in that same role, playing second and third, a little bit of short as well. Scooter Gennett not playing against the lefty Lamb in this game. Runners on the move and no throw. So a couple of stolen bases for Milwaukee.
And not paying much attention to Braun over there at second base. He gave him the high leg kick and Braun just walked on into third base. Davis able to follow him into second.
The base hit could trim this lead of Cincinnati's down to 1. Perez ahead of the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Broken bat. Slowly hit to short. Suarez for the final out, and the Brewers first and second, nobody out, get nothing. Milwaukee. And weekdays don't miss America's pregame as Mike and Molly bring you live reports from around the country for the latest from the NFL and get you ready for a full night of Major League action as well. Catch America's pregame every weekday at 4 on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Game 1 of 2 here on Fox Sports Wisconsin today. Second game scheduled to start around 5 o'clock. Make sure we won't start earlier. Even if we could, we wouldn't. We want to make sure that we've got everybody dialed in at the right time.
Yeah, split doubleheader. They're going to empty the stadium after game 1. New set of tickets. Everybody who had a ticket for last night's game able to get in game 2.
That's how it works. Mr. Red gets a break. Maybe someone else will take that hat on, huh? Although, who would want to wear a mascot hat? What if you got the second game assignment to be the mascot?
Probably a new suit. I mean, it's going to be pretty gnarly in there after this game.
Okay.
No?
I don't know.
It's got to be hot in that suit.
Hey, there's certain budgets you got to maintain now. Here's Suarez to lead off the 4th for Cincinnati. That would have to be in my contract. Got to have at least a second suit.
Nice dry suit for game 2.
One that's been air conditioned since last night.
Right.
Yeah. Suarez singled back in the 2nd inning.
Have you ever been a mascot?
Nope.
No?
Nope. Trying to think how many Bucky Badger mascots they used. I think they use up to 6 or 7 during a game.
Yeah.
They kick off the season tonight. Ready for a big one against what, number 3 Alabama?
Yeah. 7 o'clock Central.
We're on at 5. So we'll be able to watch part of that game.
Second half.
Yeah. That'll be good. It's kind of plan B though, right?
It's the way the game goes.
It's the way the game goes.
You know, you never know. Got to be ready. Got to be flexible.
This one hit hard left field. Davis on the run, can't come up with the catch off the wall. And Suarez going to turn second, and he's going to hold there. So a leadoff double here in the 4th for Cincinnati.
Second time they've had their leadoff hitter aboard. Happened last in the 2nd inning. Phillips drew a walk, ended up coming around to score in a 2-run inning for Cincinnati. Double number 16 for Suarez, and look at the location. Not too bad that time. Kind of leaked down the middle of the plate, but inner half. Lucroy wanted it away. So location issues again for Matt Garza.
Here's the catcher Barnhart. He has a runner in scoring position, nobody out. High, ball 1.
I think all the hits against Garza have come on fastballs today.
And the bottom half of the order knocking on the door here in Cincinnati's 4th. Barnhart, the number 8 hitter. Lines it right to Rogers for the first out.
Man, broke his bat, but right at Rogers. A little higher, that would have been down the line. Barnhart a little bit upset, breaks his bat, and smashes it, finishes the job. Yep, 2 pieces now. That was a good pitch that time by Garza. Got it in on his hands, and Barnhart right to Rogers for the out.
And that bat retired. The easy way of putting it, right?
Yeah.
All right, here's Lamb. Lamb has been pretty efficient on the mound. That's task number 1. It's something though when these young rookie pitchers come in, like we saw Zach Davies the other day, pitching well and then getting a double. They're coming in ready to swing.
Young guys not that far removed from swinging a bat, whether it be college or high school. And of course Lamb was drafted all the way back in 2008.
Right. Took him a while to get here, but he's here now. And he's trying to establish himself with the opportunity with the Reds. Inside pitch strikes out Lamb, so 2 down after the leadoff double.
And they tied him up nicely that time. Hey, it's Fan Appreciation Night at Miller Park, presented by Chevrolet, Saturday, September 19th. That's against the Reds. There'll be a number of great prizes throughout the evening, and one lucky fan will even walk away with a brand new Chevy Trax. Go to Brewers.com/fan appreciation for details.
Here's Bourgeois batting for the 3rd time already here in the 5th. 0 for 2 in this game. Fouled out to Rogers his last time up. Well, speaking of Zach Davies on that hit he had and then running the bases. Remember when he got over to Eddie Cedar over at third base. Eddie was telling us after the game, he said, when's the last time you ran the bases? He said maybe about 6 years ago. This one put in play, a little soft grounder. Perez for the final out. So Matt Garza, after the leadoff double, gets out of it. No damage.
Checking with the crew in the community. Brewers Community Foundation encourages all fans to purchase season-ending 50/50 raffle tickets. Proceeds from ticket sales provide critically needed support for quality nonprofits throughout Milwaukee. Be a part of making a difference and take a chance. You may win 50% of the day's raffle sales. Look for sellers in bright orange t-shirts from the minute gates open until the middle of the fourth inning. Good luck. Craig?
Okay, Telly, thanks very much. Top of the fifth we go. John Lamb back on the hill. He's had a very productive and efficient day on the mound against Milwaukee hitters. Just 2 hits allowed so far to Milwaukee, and just 3 have reached scoring position. We were stranded runners at second and third last frame. This time Herrera just fouled.
Yeah, first and second, nobody out.
Yeah.
You know, to start that fourth inning, Brewers not able to get anything on the board.
Talk about the slow rise to the majors for John Lamb last year at AAA with Kansas City. Spent the entire AAA season there at an ERA just under 4 as Herrera down the left field line, and it's going to be a leadoff double for Milwaukee.
Yeah, Herrera batting from the right side, much better left-handed hitter than right. He had a double in the last homestand. Remember that ball that he hit at Miller Park that was first called a home run, and then upon review was called a double. He was batting right-handed for that, and another double right-handed for Herrera, so he continues to swing a hot bat, and Craig Counsell keeps putting him in the lineup.
So Garza will try to advance him over to third. Garza pops this one up out of play. So down 2 strikes. Garza with 7 sacrifice bunts on the season. 3 hits in 2015. Try one more time to get Herrera over, and he pops it back again. So a strikeout recorded for Lamb. Well, as promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the games. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag #WisDataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. And there you go, Jamie.
Hanging out with Luke.
You got that right. Pretty nice of Luke to do that, huh? Come on the field. Segura fouls it just out of reach. Brewer shortstop 0 for 2 in this game so far.
And nice play by Todd Frazier his last time up to rob Segura of extra bases. That would have been a double down the line.
Easily. This one to right. Bruce giving chase, and it falls in fair, and Herrera's going to score. Segura trying for 2, and he's out.
Yeah, that's a good throwing arm out there in right field. You don't run on Jay Bruce. That was a really good job by Herrera to read that off the bat. Knew that it was either going to be foul or a base hit. And fights one off down the line. And Segura not running at full speed right away. Might have thought it was going foul, but then a little bit too late. If he's running hard all the way, he's going to be safe at second base.
Well, the Brewers played their first run of the game on this single.
That's not a guy you want to run on. Jay Bruce got a great throwing arm.
A 3-1 ball game now. 2 down, base is empty for Jonathan Lucroy. Let's see if he can get a 2-out rally going. Luke 0 for 2. John Lamb has tied up Luke a couple of times so far in this game. 1 strikeout back in the first. This one line just found. Brewers getting some good swings against Lamb. Fortunately, a lot of them into outs.
And foul territory because they're out in front of the changeup.
Mostly fastball changeup today from Lamb.
Fastball, four-seamer, cutter, changeup.
One to Luke. Here's a curveball. And there's the final out. Brewers get one though, and they're within 3-1.
Brewers return home on Tuesday, September 15th to start a 3-game series against the Cardinals. That's September 15th to Thursday, September 17th. For tickets, call 414-902-4000. You go to Brewers.com today. Don't look at me like that. I know I'm having a rough time with promos.
I don't know why.
That's the second time you've given me the evil eye.
I just know that I've got it coming to me before the night's over because we've got 2 games today. So,
see, what I'm doing is I'm eliminating some words in the promo. They get a bit wordy, and then I kind of mess myself up. So,
well, the problem when you eliminate words is, and then when you have the long pause, it's just as long anyway.
Yeah.
So
let's just go with it, right?
It's the editor in me, Rock.
Now you tell me.
Bottom of 5 we go. Jay Bruce to lead off against Matt Garza.
See, what I tried to do is eliminate, a division, rivalry. Everybody knows it's a division rivalry, right? So you don't have to really mention that. So I tried to eliminate that, and then I got messed up.
And it's, you get to this time of year too, where these 2 ball clubs are, and it's hard to use the word rivalry, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's more when you're doing well, and there's a little greater meaning to it. Not that every game doesn't have good meaning, but.
Plus, I have a difficult time saying that word. Rivalry.
I know, it's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. That's all right, though. You're still sounding good. Here's the 1-1 to Bruce. Big hack. .71 pitches for Garza. Hot, humid Saturday afternoon. Temperatures in the upper 80s, close to 90. Greg Counsell was saying before the game he would not be surprised at all if between these 2 games we emptied out the bullpens. As hot as it is, and potential getting into trouble.
Yeah, one thing about the rain out yesterday, you know, the Brewers had 3 guys in the bullpen that they did not want to use in yesterday's game had they played. Those guys are available today.
Plus yesterday they added Ariel Pena from Colorado Springs based on the fact that they need a little extra depth. So
well, because of what we were just talking about, they didn't want to use Jeffress, they didn't want to use Smith or Thornburg yesterday. Those 3 guys are available today.
3-2 and he misses. Ball 4. Leadoff walk here in the 5th inning for the Reds. Bruce Votto and Phillips have made it on base 5 times already in this game combined.
2 hits and 3 walks.
Here's Votto, who drew one of those walks back in the 3rd. .315 the batting average for Joey Votto. 27 home runs and 70 RBIs. He has a career on base percentage of .422 coming into this game, which is tops among active players.
We had .457 this year.
On base plus slugging of .959 for his career is 3rd among active players. Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera just ahead of him.
Really no surprise that he's walked 117 times. You know what the surprise to me is? He's struck out over 100 times. That's amazing. The way the guy, you know, takes pitches, he makes contact, he chokes up with 2 strikes.
For a guy that can walk and draw the walk that often.
Yeah, 104 strikeouts. That's stunning.
Garza behind, 2 balls and a strike. Big swing and a miss by Votto.
This is a pretty much of a free swinging ball club. We talked about Votto with 117 walks. Next closest, Jay Bruce with 50.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Votto fouls one away. Jay Bruce drew a leadoff walk. And now Votto battling Garza.
Yeah, Adam Lynn leads the Brewers in walks with 54.
Perhaps we will see Lind as a pinch hitter before this game is over, back at first for game 2. Votto takes, checked his swing. Count runs full. Phillips waits on deck. It's a big inning right here as the Brewers were able to get 1 in their half of the 5th. They're only down by 2 runs. Bruce on the run, ball 4. 2 walks to start the 5th inning.
Garza getting himself into some trouble. Pitches at 81 at this point. Gotta believe that bullpen's going to start getting busy.
4 walks given up by Garza so far. Garza went only 3 2/3 innings the last time against Cincinnati last Saturday in that 12-9 slugfest where he got the no decision in that game. But 11 hits and 7 earned runs. It was the 4th time this year he had given up 7 earned runs or more. And walks and the base hits get him in trouble in a hurry.
It's just been a rough season for Garza for sure. And just when you think he's got things turned around, he kind of falls back into that trap. Just can't get the location, just can't find that strike zone. And we're talking about good quality strikes down and on the corners. Yeah, today the situation is he's either getting too much of the plate or missing. Can't find the corners.
Missing outside and low. Ground ball to the right side. Stop there. Herrera can't make a play as he loses control of the baseball. And the bases are loaded with nobody out.
They tried to get the force out at second base, just lost the handle and just couldn't get anybody then. I think he lost the grip on it 2 different times. Right here is when he lost the opportunity to get the guy at second. Then the second time wasn't able to get Phillips at first.
So an error on Herrera. Oh, it is a base hit.
Yeah, it's a hit. Yep.
These are the situations that have gotten the best of Garza. Let's see if he can bear down and limit the damage, get the forces where needed here. First pitch, a strike into Todd Frazier. Frazier 0 for 2. He's made his mark so far in this game with his glove. High fly ball center field. Santana coming in, makes the running catch. And tagging from third, another run home for the Reds. As Bruce scores, it is 4-1.
Yeah, long way to go for Santana, playing very deep out there in center field, particularly with Frazier up. It's got to be a moral victory right there for Garza. Getting Todd Frazier on the fly ball. Run does score, but he gets an out. Now get your double play, get out of this mess.
Yeah, was able to hold Votto at second base as well. He can't advance. Now it's Skip Schumacher. Had a single back in the second inning and scored a run. It was run number 2 on the afternoon. Low ball 1. Outside again. This is where it's tough on the defense. You got the base runners. Game slows down. You see Herrera on the bobble trying to make a play. Gets a little tougher to stay sharp.
Yeah, a lot of pitches.
There's a strike. 2-1.
David Goforth getting loose in the Brewers bullpen. There he is. They're hidden from our vantage point.
Another strike into Schumacher. And the Brewer bullpen in that right field corner. Not a lot of air movement down there in the corner, I would imagine.
No.
And a cold strike 3. Big strikeout for Garza as he gets Schumacher looking.
Oh boy, 3 fastballs that Schumacher takes. He got ahead in the count 2-0. Garza missed with 2 curveballs and then 3 fastballs to get him. Yeah, talking about finding your location, that's about as good as it gets. Jerry Davis rings him up. Big out for Garza.
Only the second strikeout, but a big one right there for Garza. 2 down for Suarez. He's not been able to retire the young shortstop for the Reds. He's 2 for 2. Single and a double and an RBI. Boy, he is having a nice campaign filling in for Cozart at short.
Swinging the bat, isn't he? Hitting 290 almost, 289. 11 homers. Pretty good for a shortstop.
Brewers got a run to trim the lead to 3-1 in their half of the 5th, but Cincinnati gets it right back. They had bases loaded, nobody out. Scored on a sacrifice fly, and then Garza got Schumacher looking. Needs one more right here and trying to get Suarez. Stopped by Lucroy. 95 pitches for Garza. You got to figure this is going to be his last inning. This is down low. Count runs full again. Saying that a too few many times here this afternoon. 5 times the count has run full for Matt Garza. Solid smash left field, base hit. Here comes Votto. And Cincinnati adds one more to the board. They are up 5-1.
Fastball down the middle, and Suarez just continues to swing the bat well. He's hit the ball hard every time up against Garza today. And here comes Craig Counsell. He's seen enough as Garza's pitch count gets near 100 pitches. There it is. Down the middle on a 3-2 pitch and hits it hard into left.
So Garza will exit 4 2/3 innings of work. Another tough day for the Brewers starter as he leaves with his team down 4 runs. Coming right back to Cincinnati. can't make it through 5. And Cincinnati plays 5 against him. A couple of runners still out there. And now it's going to be Goforth on the mound for Milwaukee.
They pitched on Tuesday against the Pirates. Gave up a couple of runs in 2/3 of an inning. They gave up solo home runs to Aramis Ramirez and Jung Ho Gung. Recalled on August 14th from AAA. This is the fourth time he's been with the Brewers this year. He was here in May, a couple of times in July, and then back in August.
Well, he comes in with 2 on, and the good news for him, those previous 8 inherited runners that have been on base have not come around to score. He's hoping to make that 9 here before this inning is up. Trying to keep his team in it. We're midway through this. Brewers down 4 with plenty of time to go, but don't want to get any further behind. Segura runs in behind Phillips. Phillips does some kind of dance, man. He continues to entertain the crowd here, doesn't he?
Likes to have fun, doesn't he? Why not? That's what it's all about.
First pitch from Goforth inside.
Yeah, last night's rain not only washed out the game yesterday, but it kind of washed out Brandon Phillips' bowling tournament that was supposed to take place tonight. A charity bowling tournament that the whole team was going to attend.
Had to be rescheduled.
Yeah.
And this one nearly hits Barnhart. It's in play. Phillips will take third.
It's a heck of a play by Lucroy just to keep it close. Suarez stays at first, but Phillips able to get to third base on the wild pitch. You think he's a pretty good bowler? Brandon Phillips? I don't think so.
You don't think so? Well, you got some inside information.
I just think that, baseball and bowling, that doesn't go together too well. It's kind of hard on the arm, isn't it?
I think that the bottom line is, if he says he's good, and he has told our crew that he is really good,
okay,
he must be really good.
I'm wrong then. Yeah.
Of course, that's his opinion.
Which means the world.
That's right. He likes to have a lot of fun, and maybe he's got a unique way of bowling too. Now, our information is coming through right now for 300 games.
Yeah, right. The information just lost all its credibility. So 4 perfect games in bowling.
Well, it's a heck of an offseason where he can make some money.
Well, my apologies to Mr. Phillips.
Maybe he's got a tremendous curveball. 2-2 on the way, and a swing and a miss. Foul tip held by Lucroy, and Goforth does his job. 2 runs though in for Cincinnati. Time now to take a look at that Car Soup trivia question. Who is the first player in Brewers history to record a 2020 home run stolen base season? You know, Ryan Braun's done it 4 times. Tommy Harper.
I was going to say Tommy Harper.
Yeah, that's a good guess. Back in the first year the Brewers were in Milwaukee. That's impressive. 31 home runs, 38 stolen bases.
So I was right. It was before Yount.
Yeah. Right on it. When you said before Yount, that's the name I thought.
I was really wrong about the Brandon Phillips bowling thing, and I apologize. If he has 4 perfect games, that's unbelievable.
Well, you don't have to apologize until you know for sure.
I don't know.
We're going to ask him between games. You want to go down in clubhouse?
No, I'm not sure why he would lie about that.
He likes to have fun with it.
Yeah. Think he's messing with us?
You've told the white liar 4 during your days,
Never.
haven't you? Never? So all that stuff you've been telling me is really true?
Only to keep peace.
All right, John Lamb now with a 5-1 lead as we head to the 6th inning. Ryan Braun leading off. Braun stranded at third. Back in the 4th inning. Has a double and a walk, so he's been on base both times so far. See if he can make it 3. He led off the 4th with a double. Brewers had 1st and 2nd in the 4th with no outs and could not get a run home. Unfortunately, that's one of the storylines to the season for the offense.
Right. Yeah, runners left on base.
We talked about it at the top of the broadcast, though. Since mid-August, last 3 weeks, the Brewers have really done a nice job offensively. They've increased their run total by 2 full runs prior to the rest of the season. So they're hoping to keep things going here. And Braun fly ball to right. Bruce coming in. Phillips going out. Can't make the catch.
Boy,
tough play for Phillips.
How far he went out to try and grab that one. Look where he is now. He's out there in the deep right field. If anybody can make that play, it's Brandon Phillips. Not just a good bowler, a pretty good defender at second. Just misses it by maybe a foot. Base hit for Ryan Braun.
That one may have been left for Bruce to take care of if he's coming in on the run.
He's just playing too deep with Braun at the plate.
Here's Chris Davis. Officially 0 for 1. Walked back in the 4th. Also has a stolen base. High fly ball left field.
Just missed it.
And he does just miss this one. Schumacher with the catch. Route number 1. Sounded good.
And hit on a sweet spot, but just a little bit out in front of it. What's your high game in bowling?
Oh man, I'm not sure if I've hit the 200 mark.
No, I hit
it a couple times.
I rolled a 212 once.
Did you?
That was it.
I can't remember the last time I bowled. Been a while. I have a hard time finding that groove. I just let go of that ball. I'm just throw that thing straight.
Really?
You got a nice hook going?
No.
No. I think you got to do that pretty much every day. Find that.
It's like golf.
Yeah. It's fun though. Get our crew to bowl on the road every once in a while on a long road trip.
Did that here in Cincinnati a couple of years ago.
Did you?
I didn't bowl. I watched.
Watched.
It's tough on the elbow.
Was your elbow bothering you that day?
It always does.
Oh, okay. Didn't bother you to have a 12-ounce curl though while you were watching them, right?
No.
Yep. Lamb behind, 2 balls to Rogers. There's a strike, 2-1. "35 straight starts on the pitching mound for Cincinnati by a rookie." And Lamb trying to make his name to stay in the rest of the way. His pitching performance against Milwaukee last Saturday, despite that game ending up blowing up to a 12-9 affair. He pitched his best game of his young major league career. 6 innings, 2 runs.
You can see why the Reds like him. He throws strikes. He's walked a couple of batters today, but pretty much been working ahead in the count. When he has fallen behind, he's got that changeup to get himself back into the count. It's a good pitch for him.
Rogers calls time at the plate. Lamb taking a long look at Ryan Braun over at first. Braun with 2 stolen bases in the game. Outside to Rogers. A rare full count now for Lamb. 3rd time on the afternoon. Rogers, soft fly ball left field. Is this going to drop? It does. A base hit, and it's misplayed out there by Schumacher. Braun's going to go to 3rd. So 1st and 3rd, 1 down.
That'll be an error on Schumacher out there in left field. I think he picked his head up to see what Braun was going to be doing. He came up short. Ball got behind him, and good base running by Braun to get into 3rd base with only 1 out. Actually barehanded it, missed it. Base hit, E7.
That's going to bring Jeff Pico, the pitching coach, out to talk to his young pitcher. Domingo Santana set to step in.
Brewers with yet another opportunity with a man in scoring position. Now the 4th inning that they've had an opportunity with a base hit to drive in a run. It's only happened once, though. That was last inning. Segura base hit to right.
They have been knocking on the door, but you're right, only a run so far. This could be their inning here. Problem is they face their largest deficit right now. Take a look at Lamb pitch count by innings.
Yeah, that could disappear quickly with this guy up.
Here's Santana, 1 for 2, singled back in the 2nd inning. First pitch, left field, base hit. And the Brewers get run number 2 as Santana picks up his 2nd hit of the ball game.
As Brewers capitalize on an error by Skip Schumacher to get a run in. The 2nd time that Santana has picked on a first pitch to get a base hit. First time up, dump one into center field. This time into left field for an RBI. Brewers now with 2 hits with a man in scoring position. And now it's a 3-run game.
Here is Perez. 1st and 2nd, only 1 out. Fly ball left field. Schumacher lets it fall. Base hit.
All right.
And everybody advances a base. So now bases loaded. Brewers with 4 singles here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, not messing around. 3rd time through. First pitch. These guys have been on the attack, and back-to-back pitches end up into the outfield. That was a floater out there in the left. Surprised that Schumacher not able to get there. Played it safe. Brewers now with the tying run at first.
And they got a pretty hot hitter stepping into the batter's box in Elian Herrera. He doubled and scored the Brewers' first run back in the 5th inning. It was a leadoff double. And as you mentioned earlier, Rock, he's strongest on this side of the plate, the switch hitter is. First pitch in for a strike from Lamb. Inside 1-1. This is where your metal gets tested for a young pitcher. 6th inning, now a 3-run game, bases loaded.
Give him a long leash, aren't they? Brian Price leaving him out there. Wants to see what he's got. Why not, right?
Why not?
Gets himself into trouble. Let's see if he can get himself out of trouble.
Got to go through it at some point.
Right.
Two-one. Slap to the right side. Phillips. Run comes in. He'll take the out at first. And the Brewers get another one in to cut the deficit down to only 2.
Good job by Herrera just putting the baseball in play. Able to drive in a run. And now base hit gives the Brewers a lead. I should say they tie it.
And Adam Lind will pinch hit for the pitcher spot. Garza, who left back in the 5th inning. That means Goforth, who came in relief, is done for the day. Lind a golden opportunity here. Cesar Jimenez in the Brewer bullpen, getting warmed up. 287 for Lind, 18 home runs and 75 RBIs. First pitch a strike. Lefty versus lefty. Adam Lind against lefties, 220.
And he's been much better lately. Got off to a rough start against left-handers, but better as of late, last couple of months. The outfield very deep. Schumacher very deep in left, and Adam Lind really, when he goes to left field, it's not real deep. Ordinarily, he's got some home runs in that direction, but most of the time, he's going to serve one out into left field against left-handed pitching.
This one hit hard center field. Bourgeois goes back, looks over his head, and can't make the catch. And this game's going to be tied as Lind with a pinch hit double to straightaway center field. And the Brewers have battled back to even it up.
Yeah, and once again, Adam Lind able to tomahawk a high fastball and hit it over the head of Jason Bourgeois. You can tell that the outfield just doesn't have the range when they don't have Billy Hamilton in the lineup. That would have been an out with Hamilton. Look what the pitch is, up in the zone, up around the letters. He gets on top of it and drives it over his head out in there in the center field. So the Brewers capitalizing, getting opportunities. 5-hit inning for the Brewers, and they've got 4 on the board.
And Lamb's day is over as he will exit. Nice ovation for the youngster, but we are tied 5-5. The left-hander John Lamb, and in a pinch hit role comes through with a 2-out 2 RBI double to chase the starter, and that brings Sam LeCure in with the Brewers, and Reds tied at 5-5.
Yeah, LeCure's had extensive major league experience with the Reds. He got sent down last day of spring training, went down to Louisville and was there until August 19th. Got roughed up down in the minor leagues. 41 appearances, a 5.25 earned run average, but much better in 6 appearances here in Cincinnati.
Go ahead run in scoring position with 2 out here for Gene Segura, as LeCure works for the first time, hits the outside corner for a strike. Nice rally by Milwaukee. And how about Lynn, the lefty, coming in, of course, with the right-handed lineup that Craig Counsell used. The only right-hander on the bench is Martin Maldonado, the backup catcher. So you go with your assortment of lefties. Gene Segura up the middle, base hit. Lynn rounding third. He will make it home, and the Brewers take the lead. 5 runs in the inning, and it's 6-5 Milwaukee.
5 runs on 6 hits. Well, LeCure giving Segura a fastball. He continues to swing the bat well. Segura now with 2 hits, a couple of RBIs. He was robbed in the 3rd inning of extra bases. And look at the plate. I mean, right down the middle of the plate. Segura centers on it, bangs it into center field, and Adam Lind able to score with 2 outs. The Brew Crew just swinging the bats. They bat around in the 6th inning.
Lucroy will step in as the 9th hitter, and boy, Adam Lind, what a hit in a pinch hit role for Milwaukee with 2 outs. Tying the game and then scoring the go-ahead run here in the 6th inning.
It's still surprising that Brian Price left Lamb in so long. I guess, it's a learning experience for him. He wants to see what the rookie can do when he gets himself into trouble. Well, he was dealing there until this 6th inning. He did have opportunities, got himself out of it, but Brian Price stuck with him, and it cost him the lead.
No, the Reds with the 2nd worst record in the National League, trying to figure out who's going to be part of their future. And obviously he gave him a test run right there.
10 hits now for the Brewers. Boy, 6 in this inning.
See, we talked about the offense off the top of the broadcast.
Just took a little bit of time. Rain last night cooled it off a bit. The Brewers about hit Cincinnati 10-7.
Lucroy 0 for 3 in this game. Segura on the move. Lucroy hits it to center. Bourgeois catches up to this one for the final out. But the Brewers bat around here in the 6th inning and take the lead. 5 runs. They single their way, and then a booming double from Lind. It's 6-5 Milwaukee.
Brewers back to even, and he comes around to score the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 6th inning here. The Brewers with a 1-run lead. The Brewers host the Reds again for Fan Appreciation Weekend in Miller Park. That's Friday, September 18th through Sunday the 20th. Every game of the series will feature different prizes and giveaways, including a chance to win free 2016 game tickets, game used merchandise, or even a brand new car. For details, visit brewers.com/fan appreciation. Well, it's going to be Cesar Jimenez on for the 8th time. He's been terrific. He has not allowed a run since his move to Milwaukee. 8th appearance, no runs. You can see the strikeouts, 8 strikeouts in 9 innings of work, and Greg Counsell has used him in some pretty tough innings so far. And one of 2 left-handers down in that bullpen. Will Smith the other.
And Adam Duvall will step in as a pinch hitter in the number 9 spot for the Cincinnati Reds to lead off the 6th inning. What a rally by Milwaukee, down 5-1, and end up taking a 6-5 lead. The ball came over from the Giants in that trade that sent Mike Leake from Cincinnati at the July 31st trade deadline.
It's got to be a big deal for Adam Duvall. He grew up in Louisville, played at college at Louisville, went to the minor leagues in Louisville, and now here in Cincinnati, not too far away. What's Louisville, about an hour and a half from here?
I think you're right. Hit a home run in his first at bat as a Red against the Cubs at Wrigley Field, and ironically Duvall's first major league hit was a home run off Mike Leake, and they ended up getting traded for each other. So a new look for Reds hitters with the lefty Jimenez out there on the mound. Garza off the hook for a no decision after giving up 6 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings of work.
Yeah, back-to-back starts for Garza, getting off the hook.
And Duvall strikes out. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens through programs that promote character and leadership, education, healthy lifestyles, and more. For more information, visit foxsportssupports.com. Good start for Jimenez here in the 6th inning. The strikeout of Duvall, the pinch hitter. Top of the order now, and Bourgeois. Bourgeois got turned around in center field on that booming hit by Lind.
Again, not a center fielder by trade. You see a lot of that. You know, the Brewers are dealing with guys in center field that really haven't been center fielders, and a little bit different. Difference between Bourgeois and Billy Hamilton, that would have been an out. The ball that Lind hit with Hamilton in center field.
Speaking of center field, well hit. Santana on the run. Is he going to catch up to it? He does on the warning track just in front of the wall.
He covers a lot of ground quickly with those long strides, does Domingo Santana. Got a good break on that baseball. The Brewers have him playing deep, and that's why he's able to make that catch relatively easily.
He is about ready for the majors and getting a nice taste of the majors now on an everyday basis with Milwaukee since that trade. He came over from the Houston Astros organization. Started with the Phillies. He was signed out of the Dominican Republic back in 2009 and came over in that Hunter Pence deal that sent him originally from Houston to Philly. And now ends up in another major deal for the Astros, as Carlos Gomez was sent to Houston along with Mike Fiers. Jay Bruce, a productive afternoon. He scored a couple of runs, has a hit and a walk. Part of Garza's issue today, those walks, he had 5 of them, 3 of them scored.
Yeah, that's the big story. Oh, those base on balls, right?
Sometimes you can work out of them, but they are your enemy. There's no doubt about it. And today, when you get 3 coming home, that's an awful lot.
And 2 of the walks that scored were leadoff walks. Those are particularly hard on you.
Jimenez delivers the 1-2. Brewers playing their first doubleheader today in 2 years. A long foul ball by Bruce.
And swept the Cubs in 2013.
Brewers had none last year, none in 2012. They had 3 in 2011 and 1 in 2010.
And none at Miller Park.
That's a good stat. Where'd you dig that one up?
Hard to find a rain out at Miller Park. They don't schedule doubleheaders anymore.
They don't. Everybody wants the gate. Well, you can understand why.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar business now.
You know, back when they only played 156 games, 154 games, they played doubleheaders on Sunday and had Monday off. Would you go for that?
I wouldn't mind. How about you?
Yes.
Take that strikeout as well. Jimenez, good, solid 6th inning for Milwaukee. A 1-2-3 inning as Bruce strikes out. For Milwaukee, as they played 5 runs on 6 hits A booming double by the pinch hitter Adam Lind turned out to be the big hit that tied the game, and he would later come in on another single and an RBI by Gene Segura. 5 runs on 6 hits after they trailed 5-1. And we go to the 7th inning now, and Milwaukee a 6-5 lead here in Cincinnati. And once again, Ryan Braun set to lead off an inning for the 3rd straight at bat.
Yeah, do it again, right? Hey, 57th appearance for the former Brewer, Burke Badenhop. A 1-4 record, a 402 earned run average. He got off to a horrible start this year. Looked like he might be released or sent down. Didn't happen. He's turned things around pretty well. He did get a loss his last time out. That was at Chicago. Gave up a couple of runs in 2/3 of an inning. That included a home run. A 29 pitch inning. And the sinker baller Burke Badenhop.
So Ryan Braun will lead off an inning for the 3rd straight at bat, and he's done pretty well previously. A double and a single. He scored a run. He's also walked in this game, so he hasn't been retired yet. Got that season average up to 283. It's hard for us not to see Badenhop and not think of our routine with him, Stump the Hopper.
Yeah.
When he was with the Brewers.
And minor league mascots, logos. Knows them all.
Frazier for the first out.
Not only does he, you can show him a logo, he'll tell you, what the team is, but he'll tell you what their affiliation is. Right. What major league team that they're with.
What team they're with, what league they're in, what level they are.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I've never seen anybody else do that.
Well, if you think about it, there's no need to memorize all that. You got media guides.
Exactly. I don't like to test my memory.
But it's pretty cool the way he does it.
Chris Davis, the batter. Well, you think of all the different mascots and colors and nicknames that most of the minor league teams have from the major league affiliates. Every level is not just the Brewers. It's,
right.
Everyone's got their own identity and identifies with the city they're in. Popped up in the infield. Suarez underneath it. Battles the sun. And 2 down. Remember all your minor league affiliate mascots and names?
Yeah. Duke Copper Kings, Stockton Ports, El Paso Diablos, Vancouver Canadians.
There you go. See, and every one of those unique to the city.
But then that's it. That's where it ends. I don't remember any other ones. The teams that we played against.
Sure.
A lot of them.
Well, that's a lot of baseball right there to remember all that. How long were you in the minors for?
4.5 years.
That's I mean,
Not bad.
I'll give you a hall pass on
about
that.
Average.
Yeah. It's very good. And now you're on the Wall of Honor.
Made all my outs in the major leagues.
Rogers battling at the plate. He singled and scored as part of that 5-run 6th inning. Outside to Rogers again. Badenhop can't find that final strike.
Yeah, trying to find that outside corner, trying to be fine on the corner, just missing off the plate.
Just misses again. 3-2.
Good patience by Jason Rogers.
That's a great description of him, Rock. I mean, since the beginning of the game, you've said that that's what this guy does. It's remarkable in limited playing time. He has that patience.
And most young hitters get up there, they finally get a start, they're going to get 3 or 4 at bats, and they're thinking, I want to get some base hits, end up swinging out of the zone, and Rogers doesn't do that. Very patient, knows his strike zone.
It'd be nice to keep in that lineup for 2016. We'll see how he figures into the plans. Tried him a little bit at third base, but didn't have the range or the arm to make that real complete. And so they went out and found Perez from the Tigers. And now Rogers, when he does get an opportunity to play, is over at first base. But as well as Lind is playing, that's a tough get.
Yeah, that's Adam Lind's spot. But a guy that can come off the bench. He's proven that he can be a good pinch hitter off the bench. Give him a spot start once in a while at first.
And the 9th pitch of the at bat. Another battle for Rogers, and he wins it with a single to left.
2 for 4, good day. Started out 0 for 2. Back-to-back singles. Hit number 11 for the Brewers. Badenhop, getting a little bit too much of the plate. He was trying to catch that outside corner, couldn't do it. Rogers was down in the count 0-2 at one point in that at bat. Pitch number 9 ends up in left field for a base hit.
Here's Santana. He too has a couple of base hits.
One of the things Craig Counsell's been talking about with respect to the offense, we've been talking how good it's been. 2-strike, 2-out hitting has been very good for the Brewers. Good at bats, he's been saying.
Well, this group that we've been talking about here, the last couple of batters, and Herrera, a lot of these guys, Segura, Perez, they're in there every afternoon early for early BP. Scooter Gennett, Chris Davis.
Doing a video, looking at video. They all have their own pre-game workout regimen. T-work, soft toss. Darnell Coles was talking about how these guys have been very diligent about that, regardless of the situation. You get in late, like a couple of nights ago, you get in late about 2 o'clock in the morning. These guys are here early doing their work, looking at video. You like to see that from young players.
Well, if you make it part of your work routine, which they've done a real nice job at doing, at some point you should see dividends, and I think they're starting to see that now. A lot of investment into it.
Well, you got to be comfortable, first of all. I mean, it's got to be a comfort level. You got to be comfortable in your own skin. You got to know yourself as a hitter to start relaxing and be the hitter that you were down in the minor leagues.
That's what Santana is trying to do right now. Again, this guy hit over 300 at AAA. Full count, pitch misses. Another good at bat by a young Brewer hitter, and a walk. So 2 aboard here with 2 out.
Trying to get him to chase, didn't do it.
Santana aboard 3 times now in this game.
Scooter Gennett going to get in that bat.
He'll hit for Perez.
It is interesting how long Brian Price is sticking with these pitchers. He's stuck with Lamb a long time, and no left-hander in the bullpen. I'm surprised they're not going to a left-hander. He's got Manny Parra down there. He's just come off the disabled list. Sticking with Badenhop, the right-hander.
Well, Craig Counsell mentioned over on his side, he's not going to be afraid to get inside of that bullpen. I mean, they've got 2 games to play today.
Win game 1.
And you're right. You can't save anything for game 2. You got to get the win here in game 1. And what a battle back the Brewers have had.
Yeah, it might be a lopsided game one way or another. Second game, you don't have those decisions to make. So do what you have to do. You don't save anybody. You worry about game 2 when this one's over.
Well, the best example, he was asked Thursday about a thin bullpen. And he said, if I were to save anything on Thursday night for Friday, look, ended up with a rainout on Friday, didn't need anybody anyway.
Right.
Got to go for what sits right in front of you. That's the game today or tonight. Jeanette at 2 balls and a strike. Pinch hitting for Perez. Outside 3-1. So Badenhop got the first 2 batters and struggling now.
Yeah. Trying to be too fine. Just trying to put the ball in the corners. Has been missing. Now down in the count 3-1.
There's a strike to Jeanette.
Took a little off, maybe change up. 83 miles an hour. Badenhop doesn't throw hard. Just a BP fastball, outer half. Runner's going to get a head start. 3-2, 2 outs.
Jeanette coming off a tremendous homestand, 462 with 5 RBIs. Here's the 3-2. Right up the middle. Badenhop makes a nice play, juggles that baseball for the final out. Brewers threaten with 2 outs, but come up empty, still lead. Over the Reds, we are in the 7th inning of game 1. Our Miller Lite, what's on tap? Game 2 coming right up at 5 o'clock Central Time right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Kivas Sampson on the hill for Cincinnati against Willie Peralta. Expecting a good one between these two out on the mound as Willie goes for win number 6, coming off easily his best performance of the season in his last start. We'll take a look at all of that coming up at 5 o'clock Central Time for game 2. Brewers trying to hang on here in game 1 and have an opportunity for a sweep. Jeremy Jeffress on the hill for Milwaukee, making appearance number 61 on the season.
Yeah, Jeremy was not available yesterday. Had the Brewers had the game on Friday. Last pitched on Thursday. He went back-to-back days. Actually pitched 2 innings on Wednesday, then came back against the Pirates on Thursday to toss the scoreless inning. Has not allowed a run in his last 13 times out. Good numbers for Jeremy. Appearance number 61.
I think his last appearance, as you see Scooter Gennett staying at second base, and now Schaefer comes in to play center field. Herrera moves over to third for Milwaukee. I think that last appearance Jeffress made maybe surprised a few people, but boy, he continues to be so effective.
Yes, he has.
Coming off the 2-inning performance, came in a clutch role as Milwaukee got the sweep of the Pirates. Nothing easy here for Jeffress, though, as Joey Votto leads off. Brandon Phillips due up next, and then Todd Frazier. And he'll lead off base hit to center field for Votto as Schaefer slips. Votto big turn, he'll hold up. It's like Schaefer's cleats went out underneath him.
Yeah, just dropped the head of the bat on that pitch. A fastball down and in, and Votto able to turn on it. Quick bat. Tying run at first with nobody out.
Here's Brandon Phillips now. Good day at the plate for him. 2 singles and a walk. Also has an RBI.
Jeremy's done a good job as of late getting the ground ball, getting double play balls. Could use one here.
First pitch way inside to Phillips, backs him out of there. Talking to Lee Tunnell yesterday about Jeremy Jeffress and just about how the year has gone for him, and he said, you know, the very first thing he says, he's happy to be here. He's found his success finally in the majors his second time around with Milwaukee, and he said you can't begin to understand how important it is to be happy and feel comfortable. Base hit to right, so the first 2 are reached. Big tests here now for Jeffress. And a 1-run game.
I think Brandon Phillips been happy and comfortable here in Cincinnati for a while.
Oh yeah. That'll bring up Todd Frazier. He had a sacrifice fly for an RBI in the 5th inning. Other than that, Brewer pitchers have won the battle against the all-star third baseman. Stopped by Luke, runners can't advance.
Yeah, talking about double play balls, Todd Frazier leads the Reds, grounding into 16 double plays.
Frazier at 261 on the season, and you mentioned he's been a lot more quiet in the second half after an outstanding first half. Was the starter for the All-Star game at third, won the home run derby. You buy into the theory at all that home run derby can mess up your swing?
A little bit maybe, but
it's hard to say. I mean, you can't say for sure.
Oh,
some guys suffer, some guys don't.
Right. It's not going away, that's for sure.
Oh no. Base hit to left. And the runners advance. Well, Votto actually looked like he went back to second base on that base hit.
Yeah, wasn't sure if that ball was going to be caught by Herrera. Didn't want to get doubled off. And from his angle, he wasn't sure if that ball was at Herrera, it was going to be into left field. And Frazier down and in, he pulls the hands in and hits it hard into left. See Votto going back to first, I should say to second, and he has to cruise on into third base.
Santana came up like he wanted to throw to third, but no one was there.
Yeah, 3 hard hit balls off of Jeremy Jeffress.
1 to each field. That brings Rick Kranitz out for a chat. Bases loaded, nobody out, bottom of the 7th inning, and the Reds are down by a run to Milwaukee. Skip Schumacher will step in.
Brewers going to play with a double play up the middle. You see the run. The ball hit to third or first. They're going to come home.
So Kyle Loesch warming up in the Brewer bullpen. First pitch to Schumacher. Misses. Milwaukee was down 5 to run, but scored a 5-run 6th inning to take the lead. That is being threatened in big time fashion right now by Cincinnati.
Yeah, the bottom half of the order up. Could use a strikeout.
Bottom half of that order, though, for Cincinnati is driven in 3 of their 5 runs. Big cut by Schumacher and a miss.
They threw that one right down the middle of the plate and got it by him.
Slow roller, Jeanette, Segura. And they get the double play, 4-6-3. The tying run comes in, though.
Take that any day. Got his ground ball. Now the Reds tie it, but Jeremy Jefferson out away from getting out of this mess with the bases loaded, nobody out, and 1 run in. And a beautiful double play ball. An easy double play for Milwaukee.
And as well as the Brewers have been swinging the bat, they'll take the tie. They can get out of this one and go to hitting.
Tough customer at the plate, though. He's had a nice day.
Suarez in there. 12th time in his career he's had 3 hits in a game already. A single, double, and a single with 2 RBIs. In that order. There's a strike from Jeffress. He's ahead 2 strikes. Soft floater, Jeanette calls for it in right field, and that'll be the inning. The Reds do tie it, though, as we go to the 8th inning. And our Marshfield Clinic shining moment of the game is Adam Lind coming off the bench with the big 2-out pinch hit, double that plates 2 runs. And that would tie the game as the Brewers rallied and would eventually take the lead with a 5-run 6th inning. Adam Lind. And now the Brewers, after the Reds tied up at their half of the 7th, going to go to the plate and see what they can come up with. Herrera is set to lead off for Milwaukee.
J.J. Hoover on for the 61st time this year. Look at the record out of the bullpen. Wow, 7-0. A 202 earned run average. An opponent batting average of 178. Good numbers for J.J. Hoover. And last pitched on Wednesday against the Cubs in Chicago. Had a blown save, actually gave up 2 runs in an inning of work.
Herrera, booming ball, right field, and this one is out of here. First pitch, a home run, and Milwaukee takes the lead back just that fast.
He's something else, isn't he? Elian Herrera, first pitch home run. The Brewers have done a lot of damage on the first pitch. And that was no cheapie out there. That was a no doubter out in the right field. Hoover trying to get ahead in the count. Fastball down the middle. Look at the extension for Herrera and knocks it out of here. Brewers get it right back. That didn't take long. That was way back out there in right.
The Brewers gladly giving up the tying run to get 2 outs on that double play by Cincinnati, and then go to hacking in their half of the 8th and waste nothing. 1 pitch, boom.
6th home run. 6th home run for Elian Herrera. Now to get out of that mess last inning with 1 run in, that was pretty good work by Jeremy Jeffress.
No doubt about it. Bases loaded, nobody out.
And they give up 1 run. That's pretty good work. Good job. And the Brewers able to take the lead right back.
407-foot home run for Herrera as Schaefer bats for the first time. He came in as the defensive replacement for Santana out there in center field. Schaefer in the number 9 spot. And this one hits Schaefer on an 0-2 pitch.
Right in the foot. He'll take that any day. Schaefer with good speed. Let's see if the Brewers put something on. Yeah, Segura very good at using that hole between first and second.
Gene Segura, another good day so far. 2 for 4. And his second hit gave the Brewers the lead in that 6th inning. Capped a 5-run 6th inning after they trailed by 4 runs. The Craig Council over the last couple of days into the leading of the beginning of September was asked constantly about September call-ups, and he said, you know, I like the guys that are here right now that are still in an audition mode, if you will, guys like Herrera, who just hit the home run.
Right. Well, you might see a couple of more once these minor league seasons are over. They're done at AAA on Monday. Biloxi in the playoffs.
There goes Schaefer, swinging a miss by Segura. The throw, nope, Schaefer's going back to first.
Would have been in there safely because the throw was off the mark. Phillips never caught it. Suarez had to make the catch. Way behind second base.
I'm not sure what happened there.
He had a great jump. He just decided to stop running. And look at it. Look what happened. Phillips not even there. And he has to go back to first base on the ground. crazy.
Well, you don't see that very often at all. Good jump. So Schaefer back to first. Let's see what he does now. He'll hold.
Barnhart throws the ball pretty well. I'm not sure. I think that might have been on Brandon Phillips. He just didn't get there on time. The throw is a little bit off the mark, but not too bad. Barnhart throws out base runners at a 32% clip, which is pretty good.
Just misses inside to Segura. Full count now to the Brewer shortstop. About 99% of the time you're going though. You don't see that very often at all. This time he goes and it balls inside, ball 4 anyway. So first and second for Milwaukee after the home run by Herrera. Still nobody out in the 8th inning.
The Brewers now have the heart and soul of their order coming up with Lucroy, Braun, and Davis.
Jeff Pico, the pitching coach, coming out for a chat.
Boy, how good's the bottom of the order been today? Back-to-back games where the bottom of the order has done a lot of damage. Then you go back to that last game against the Pirates on Wednesday. 4 RBIs the bottom of the order. And doing a pretty good job here today. They've got 4 RBIs again, bottom of the order.
And a lot of times that means that even your pinch hitters are coming through, and we saw that from Adam Lind today in the 6th inning in the number 9 hole.
Yep, 4 RBIs from the 8 and 9 hitters. In the 8 and 9 spot in the batting order. You don't see that very often.
Nope. So a home run, a hit batter, and a walk, and now Jonathan Lucroy, first and second, nobody out. Goes to swinging right away. Well, until that home run by Herrera, these two teams were threatening to go homerless here at Great American Ballpark, and that's only happened 4 times this year.
I believe it. Doesn't take much to get him out of here, especially in a day game.
It's only happened 90 times in more than 1,000 games in this park's history. 13 years old. A no-doubter by Herrera, though. A lot of them are hit to right. Well, Hoover now behind 3 balls in a strike.
Yeah, hit batter, a walk. He's already given up the home run. Behind in the count, 3-1 to Lucroy.
See what kind of pitch Luke gets to see right here.
Good one.
Just missed it.
Looking to add to the home run total at Great American Ballpark with that swing.
There you go.
Taking a big hack on 3-1. Well, let's see if they send the runners. He got pretty good speed on the bases. Lucroy doesn't strike out much.
Lucroy, the only Brewer that has not been on base yet today. 0 for 4. Everyone with at least a walk or a hit. Everyone else.
Yeah, looking to extend his hitting streak. It's at 11.
It's at 11 games. You're right. A career high for Jonathan Lucroy. Coming into the game was batting .280 since coming off the DL. A tough year before that, a .133 average. This one right to Votto, over to second base, but Schaefer gets back.
And that's the way it goes, right?
Boy,
hit it right in the nose. Been a lot of jam shots for the Brewers that have dumped in for base hits, but Votto doesn't even have to move. You can see how far he is off the line. You know, Votto does that. Gets off about as far as anybody you'll see at first base. Right at him for the out.
One down, first and second. Here is Ryan Braun. Braun, a good day at the plate, was retired for the first time today in his last at bat. A double, a single. He scored a run. He's got 2 stolen bases. Solid smash, Frazier, another nice play, and they turn the double play. And the Brewers get one, though, on the leadoff home run from Elian Herrera and grab the lead here in the mid-8th. 7-6. Seven-6 Brewer lead. What a game this has turned out to be, and they're going to play another one here coming up shortly. Elian Herrera, the hero, though, at the big leadoff home run in the 8th inning, and that allows Will Smith in with a lead.
The last couple of outings have been a bit of a struggle for Will. Overall, his numbers have been pretty good. A .279 earned run average in 64 appearances. Last pitched on Tuesday against the Pirates. 4 hits, 2 runs in 2/3 of an inning. And overall, 73 strikeouts and 51 in 2/3 innings.
Tucker Barnhart, the catcher, has an RBI in this game. Struck out his last time up.
Working ahead in the count has been an issue for Will, particularly his last time out against the Pirates. falling behind, having to come in and giving up the hits. 4 hits in 2/3 of an inning for Will. A much needed day off yesterday.
Slow roller. Jeanette. And there's one down. Good start for Smith. It'll be DeJesus, the pinch hitter. Ivan DeJesus Jr. 257 on the season. Jesus has played some infield at shortstop plus some outfield for the Reds. He was promoted from AAA when Marlon Byrd was disabled back in June for the first time. And then of course Byrd since has been dealt to the Giants. There's a strike from Smith.
That's more like it for Will. He was leaving that breaking ball up in the zone last couple of times out. 2 strikes, you throw it in the dirt. See if you can't get him to chase. Good pitch on 0-2.
One out here at the bottom of the 8th inning. This is outside and low again. 2-2. Cincinnati shipping a couple of their players. Leak, the pitcher, and Byrd, big power hitter, to San Francisco, has not helped their cause lately. That's for sure. They've gotten that losing streak all the way to 7 games now. They're starting to fall off the map in the NL West race. 7.5 behind the Dodgers. And in the wild card race as well over on the National League side, 8 behind Chicago. The Cubs of course have that 2nd spot right now. And it's amazing when you look at the National League, the gaps between all the playoff position spots right now in the divisions and the wild card standings. Did he go? Yes, he did. Can't check his swing. So DeJesus strikes out for the 2nd out.
Yeah, good breaking pitch again down in the dirt, down around the shoe tops, and got DeJesus on the check swing. But looks like another season where 3 teams from the National League Central are going to go to the postseason, barring some type of a late season calamity for somebody.
St. Louis 86 wins, Pittsburgh 80, Chicago 76. The top 3 winning ball clubs in the National League, all from the Central. As Bourgeois steps in. Here's a look at the National League and the wild card standings, and these are the gaps I'm talking about for the division leaders. And even over on the wild card spot, the fact that Pittsburgh and Chicago still have those big gaps within their own same division.
7.5 game lead over the Nationals.
Yeah,
that's a lot of ground to make up in a month.
And neither of those teams close enough to St. Louis, and Chicago not close enough to Pittsburgh to overtake anybody right now. Few afternoon games going on here today across baseball. Pittsburgh and St. Louis just underway. No score there. And the Cubs a 2-0 lead over Arizona. That one in the 7th inning. Over on the American League side, Tampa Bay leading New York 3-2 in the 8th.
Yeah, Pirates took it to the Cardinals last night. 9-3 victory. They're 5.5 games back. Pirates have 5 games left with the Cardinals, including today.
Well, it's the only way you're going to get anything back are the head-to-head matchups.
Right.
That's for sure. Because that win got him within 5.5. Bourgeois just fouled. And a soft liner that Rogers handles. And a 1-2-3 inning as it turns out for Smith. Brewers hold their lead. Seven to 6, the Brewers lead the Reds as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Milwaukee looking for a couple of more insurance runs, perhaps. What a game this has turned out to be. The Brewers a 5-run 6th inning after they trailed 5-1 in that ball game. And now Ballister is going to be coming up to pitch for Cincinnati.
He got called up on August 23rd when Manny Parra was put on the disabled list. He got right in the game. He threw a scoreless, hitless inning in his major league debut. Manny Parra has since been reactivated. He's back on the active roster. He's in the bullpen. And Ballister last pitched against the Cubs on the 31st and did toss that scoreless inning. He did strike out a batter, a 12-pitch inning for him.
Shane Peterson will lead off for Milwaukee. That's in Chris Davis's spot, the cleanup spot here in the Brewer batting order. Peterson strikes out.
Shane has had a difficult time staying sharp. He hasn't played much as of late. And he's starting to show the effects of that. You might see him in the evening game tonight. He could use some at-bats.
Well, he got a ton of playing time, a lot of starts right after the July 31st trade that the Brewers made. Started in center field. almost game in and game out for a stretch until the Brewers brought Santana up, and then he's been getting a lot of that playing time. "18 games in center for Peterson." Here's Jason Rogers now in a 1-1 count. Ground ball, base hit right down the line, all the way into the corner. Rogers is going to trot in with a double, maybe thinking 3 here, and he's on his way to third. Here comes the throw, and he's in there. Rogers running all the way, keeping an eye on that ball in the left field corner.
And just chugging around those bags, and kind of surprised when he looked up, and Schumacher was having a tough time down in that corner. We lost sight of it up here in the booth. Right down the third baseline. Even Todd Frazier couldn't get to that one. Kind of rattles around in that corner down there. By the time Schumacher gets to it and gets it in, Jason Rogers able to get in with a 1-out triple. Oh, that's a big run down there at first base, or at third base. Brewers would love to be able to play another. Well, Cincinnati's got their big boys coming up in the bottom of the 9th.
Santana, first pitch, long fly ball, center field, will easily score Rogers, and a big insurance run right there for Milwaukee as they tack on another run and now lead at 8-6.
That didn't take long, did it?
Not long at all.
2 pitches, triple sac fly. 2 of the youngsters getting it done, Jason Rogers and Domingo Santana. Santana getting a fastball up in the zone and driving it deep into center field. Our Badger Mutual Insurance run of the game.
Here's Scooter Gennett, opposite way, base hit. Boy, the hit parade from the 6th inning on for Milwaukee. They're like a new team.
They have 14 hits.
They had 4 hits through the 5th. Here's Herrera, who has 2 hits in this game and 2 RBIs, including a home run and a double, and has scored 2 runs. Game 2 scheduled to start in a little over an hour and a half.
Plenty of time to score a few more.
Why not?
Yeah.
They announced 29,000 here for game 1. Not sure we had 29,000 here, but whoever is here is going to be told to exit the stadium. And if you have a ticket for game 2, you can come back in. Those waiting outside of Great American Ballpark will be allowed in for game 2. 2 gates. That's how it works these days. Day-night doubleheader.
Yeah.
Two meals in the press box, Rock.
I'm just wondering, we have to pay again, you think?
I would imagine so.
We are going to have to pay again?
I would imagine so. If they're making the fans pay, we're going to have to pay.
That stinks.
You didn't bring that second plate of food in like I told you. Just store it down here.
I should have.
Herrera swing and a miss, and that'll end the Brewer 9th inning, but they get one more after the triple by Rogers. Back here in Cincinnati, the Brewers had trailed 5-1 until the 6th inning, where they grabbed the lead after a 5-run 6th. It was tied after 7. They get a run in the 8th inning on a home run by Herrera. Add one more in the 9th, so an 8-6 advantage right now. And K-Rod on the hill for Milwaukee, trying to pick up another save.
Yeah, picked up number 33 on Tuesday against the Pirates. 33 saves this year. Is a perfect inning against Pittsburgh on Thursday. Only blown save came against the Reds at Miller Park on August 29th. And he's going to be facing the same guys that he faced at that point.
It was Bruce, Votto, and Phillips to start out that game last Saturday. And same situation here this afternoon in Cincinnati. Bruce, a productive day. Officially 1 for 3, scored 2 runs, has a base hit. Votto waits on deck. 5 of these 6 runs the Reds scored today were against starter Matt Garza. High chopper second base. No, it's going to be Segura, the shortstop, coming in to make a nice play, and 1 down.
Well, in that outing where K-Rod blew his only save against Cincinnati, he fell behind in the count to Bruce 2-0. He got a base hit. Then Votto 2-0. He hit the home run. Able to get ahead of Jay Bruce very quickly in this inning.
So deadly to fall behind to power hitters, especially in close ball games. Here's Votto 1 for 2. Couple of walks. Scored 2 runs. Waving at that first pitch for a strike. Thing about K-Rod, he blew his first save on Saturday, and Sunday got right back on the horse.
Yep.
Like
yes,
nothing happened.
Yep. Short memory of these closers.
It was an 8-pitch save on Sunday to get that streak going again. This one down the right field line, falls in for a base hit. Ryan Braun cuts it off, and Votto singles with 1 out.
Toughest out in the big leagues right now. That brings the tying run to the plate. We got some power hitters coming up.
Brandon Phillips will step in. He has not been retired in 4 previous plate opportunities. 3 singles, a walk. He scored a run, and also has an RBI. Francisco Rodriguez pitched in the All-Star game here in Cincinnati at the Midsummer Classic, representing the Brewers. Funny thing about that game, the real good pitchers in the National League, including K-Rod, Zach Greinke, had a tough time on the mound here in that All-Star game. Phillips to left, a base hit. Station to station right now on 2 singles for Cincinnati, first and second.
Yeah, changeup up in his zone, either a changeup or a curveball, couldn't tell. Well, left it up in the zone, and Phillips able to get on top of it and line it into left field.
The tying runs aboard with 1 out for Todd Frazier. Frazier with a single and a sac fly RBI. He is hitless in his career against K-Rod, 0 for 7. Game 1 of a doubleheader here today. Brewers trying to take the first one. Cincinnati threatening. Frazier, a big cut and a miss.
And fastball. K-Rod's been ahead of every hitter in this inning, but two of them have been able to reach, Votto and Phillips.
Rodriguez, the fifth reliever used by Craig Counsell here this afternoon.
That's more like it, leaving that changeup down. Changeup that Phillips hit was up in the strike zone. Got to get it down in the zone to get that ground ball.
A ball and a strike to Frazier. Fastball in. 1-2. Changeup.
Now left that one up in his zone. Let's see if he chases one down. Get it in the dirt.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 down.
Well, good changeup right there. Down and away, and Frazier pulled his head trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Well, getting ahead in the count, the key to K-Rod's success, and there's a good two-strike changeup to get him.
Lucroy meeting with Rodriguez out on the mound. 2 down for Skip Schumacher. Left-handed hitter is 1 for 4 in this game. Tying runs on base. This is inside, ball 1. Schumacher, good numbers against Rodriguez. Two and 0.
Yeah, first hitters he's been behind. 2-0. Schumacher's sitting on a fastball here.
Schumacher gets a piece, but it's a strike. 2-1.
Yeah, it wasn't about to give him a fastball in that 2-0 count. Something off speed that Schumacher was out in front of. Well, he's got himself back in the count now. He'll go to work on that changeup down.
K-Rod trying to pick up his 34th save. Needs one more out. This one line to Herrera at third, and this game is over. The save for Francisco Rodriguez, and the Brewers battle back.
That's a nice win right there, folks. Offense coming around, bottom of the order once again, getting it done, and K-Rod number 34. Good job by everybody today.
Everybody contributing at the plate and from the bullpen as well, and the Brewers take game 1. 8-6 is the final score, and they'll get a break in here and get set for game 2 and try to go for the sweep here on the road at Great American Ballpark. Until then, we will pause and come back with you in just a bit at 5 o'clock Central Time, but we have Brewers Line postgame on the way for game 1. Let's send it back to the studio and Jeff Grayson.